This is for Melinda Jones, not Gates, Jones. There's a reason the other mother chose Coraline's mom to focus on in her perverted world. Mother-daughter relationships are informed by patriarchy. Pay attention to the things societal structures take away from women and femmes. They are often the key. Hello, my name is Noble Star. Today I have decided to take on stop-motion animation fans around the world as I make my humble case in defense of Coraline's mother, Mel Jones. I welcome your dissenting voice to my truth. It brings you one step closer to, well, if I told you that, it wouldn't be as satisfying, so moving on. Before we get started, did you know Coraline was inspired by a Simpsons episode titled Treehouse of Horror? The author of the book, Neil Gaiman, voiced the Simpsons cat Snowball 5. Coraline's parents are so busy taking care of her, they forget life requires moments of fun and joy. We're human. People get caught up in seasons of trials. Sometimes people face difficult periods in their lives, where one unfavorable thing happens right after the other. This causes feelings of sadness and anxiety. This does not necessarily make someone a neglectful or an abusive parent. Signs of emotional neglect can include ignoring a child's attempts to interact or communicate, being emotionally unavailable, invalidating feelings, or assigning negative attributes to a child. Hear me out. Anyone can exhibit emotionally neglectful behaviors in times of change, like when a family's going through a death, a financial struggle, a kid moves out, or a divorce. People get stressed out and act out. Parents and guardians are imperfect. They are learning as they go. A truly neglectful parent does not recognize or rectify the situation. Instead, they knowingly or unknowingly repeat the pattern over time, creating an ongoing environment of emotional neglect. Calling Coraline's parents neglectful or abusive is a stretch, in my opinion. I just think we're not used to seeing representations of people struggling. Even loving and well-intentioned parents can exhibit behaviors associated with emotional neglect in times of change, in difficult times. The film does a great job of making it so you barely notice what's going on in her parents' lives. That is the perspective of a child, to, for the most part, passively experience the struggles of the family. That is not neglect. Coraline's parents are shielding her from the actual issues they are facing in their lives, to the point where Coraline's biggest issue is boredom. Now, turning Coraline away repeatedly makes Coraline feel like her parents don't like being around her, in turn making Coraline uncomfortable with being alone. If the child feels like the parents don't want to be with them, why would the child want to be with themselves?
My kingdom for a horse!
Put them back.
Here we see other kids using their imaginations and creating worlds in their heads. Coraline feels so uncomfortable being alone. She prefers other people entertain her, like the other mother, perhaps. I'm not saying the way Coraline's parents are treating her is okay. I'm saying it's kind of common and normal in this weird capitalist hellscape we exist in. There are people like the Beldam that exploit vulnerable moments in people's lives to take something from them. This is the root of predatory behavior towards children. In the film, Coraline's parents are running around taking care of Coraline in the middle of a huge move. If you've never moved before, let me tell you, it's the most stressful thing. It takes weeks of planning, then packing, then the actual move, then unpacking everything. That does not include all of the expenses, then adjusting to a completely new place, enrolling all the kids in school, finding a new job. It's a lot. And that's only the physical stuff. Emotionally, Coraline's parents are extremely anxious about their gardening catalog. It seems like they moved to Oregon for this new job, specifically to this new house with this big garden for this opportunity. I'm a writer, and I've also worked as an editor in a magazine. Let me tell you, it's extremely stressful to meet these deadlines, on top of a move.
Pretend like the crazy man's in our house.
You sure you won't come?
Don't fret, Charlie. They'll love the new catalog. At least they'll love my chapters.
Her dad is so nervous to hand in this catalog, he asked Coraline's mom to please come with him. Coraline's mom is a bit more resigned. She seems like a, well, whatever happens, happens type of person. They are also struggling financially. Mel Jones, got into a car accident and has a severe neck injury during the whole film.
Mom, I want stuff growing when my friends come to visit. Isn't that why we moved here?
Something like that. But then we had the accident.
It wasn't my fault you hit that truck.
I never said it was.
Coraline's dad has eye bags on his eye bags from exhaustion.
Dad.
Hello, Coraline. And Coraline, doll?
Do you remember this scene?
No, 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 no!
It was such a funny clip in the movie, but if you look deeper, her dad just lost all of his work for a project he's obviously very anxious about, that he needs to feed his family. It doesn't seem so funny then. These situations are never simple. In 2009, when the film was released, I was 7 years old, and all I was able to feel was how unfair Coraline's parents were treating her. She felt so alone because of them that she trusted a stranger who tried to kill her. It's more complicated than blaming Mel Jones. We tend to put most of the blame on women, on mothers, when something goes wrong. Coraline's mom is dealing with all of this. She's taking her kid to buy uniforms, editing and writing for their gardening catalog, where the husband is just writing. She seems to have most of the responsibilities in the house. In the film, Coraline's dad takes on the cooking responsibilities, which in most cases people might see as modern, but he handles that one responsibility, while Mel Jones handles everything else, with an injury. Coraline's dad, Charlie Jones, is seen as a more bubbly and playful character because most of the stress falls on the baddie, Jones, and her daughter blames her for it. It is said that there are 3 selves within us, according to these 2 Substack articles I read. Now, the 3 selves are the maiden, the mother, and the crone. The maiden is the youthful, adventurous voice in your head. The mother is your protective self, your higher self. The crone is discernment, the wisdom within you. We can see these 3 archetypes in Coraline. Coraline is the maiden, Mel is the mother, and the crone is the other mother. When you follow your intuition, it sort of sounds like a mom's voice. Turn left, take the long way home, don't trust that person. And when you aren't listening to your internal mother, that's when trouble starts to come. The article says that your relationship with your real mother is a reflection of that relationship within yourself, of you and your higher self. This imbalance is so deeply reflected in Coraline's internal and external world. Coraline embodies that adventurous spirit of the maiden. Her relationship with her mother was healed enough that she was able to listen to her internal voice when something felt off about the other world. The more complicated part is the discernment. It requires tapping into a wisdom that children seldom have access to. Discernment is knowing what is for you and what is not for you. For example, when Coraline arrived in the other world for the first time, she felt something was off. Something felt wrong. She was listening to her internal voice, but she didn't have the discernment to decide if this was for her or not for her, based on the information she was receiving from the maiden and the mother. When the maiden, the mother, and the crone dance together, that is where true power is found. It's not her parents' fault that Coraline experienced this trauma. It feels like that because they're the grown-ups. They're the ones making all the choices. But no one can control everything, even if we feel like they do or they should. A series of events happened, motivated by Mel's choices, Charlie's choices, Coraline's choices, the economic state of the world, which led to something very bad happening to Coraline. And that bad thing changed Coraline's life. And that's all we'll ever know. The other mother takes elements from Coraline's life that she loves and makes them grander. She loves the little songs her dad sings for her. So the other mother makes the other father a full-blown musician that writes songs just for Coraline. Making up a song about Coraline. She's a peach, she's a doll, she's a pal of mine. She's as cute as a button in the eyes of everyone that ever laid their eyes on Coraline. I love that song so much. The other world is gray, where Coraline is a person full of color. So the other world is full of color.
Then why'd you lock the door?
Oh, I found some rat crap, and I thought you'd feel safer.
Why would Coraline's mom think the little door was making Coraline feel unsafe? Although Coraline thinks her dreams are wonderful, her mother sees the unsettling truth that they're nightmares. The button eyes, the luring of children into a false sense of safety with mango milkshakes, clothes, and the promise of love. They are the tactics of a predator.
Black is traditional. But if you'd prefer pink, or vermilion, or chartreuse, though you might make me jealous.
No way! You're not sewing buttons in my eyes!
Her relationship with her parents, the way they always taught her to speak up for herself, is what saved her in the end. She was able to say no, something the ghost children did not or could not do. In 2009, a lot of people lost their homes during the housing crisis. A lot of families were struggling. That's why so many of us connect with this film. We were kids existing during a nationwide economic struggle. A lot of us were experiencing the loss of friends and childhood homes, the loss of a better time, and a lot of us were feeling ignored. Shout out to the stop motion gods at Leica Studios for making us kids during that time feel seen and heard, for showing us we must go through the winter in order for spring to come.
Charlie!
Oh, excusez-moi, but that pizza was delicious.
I added a tip jar to my channel. It's on Ko-Fi. Send a shekel my way if you feel called. Thank you.